What up? We're going to learn an alternate way to derive the integral of secant. We're not going to use that wacky trick. We're going to start by changing the secant into 1 over cosine. Then we're going to multiply top and bottom by cosine x. That's going to get us this one. Then we're going to change the bottom into 1 minus sine squared. What this allows us to do is a u substitution where your u will be sine x, and then your du will equal cosine x dx, which is really convenient. That just is du, and then you could just put 1 du. So you're going to get 1 du over 1 minus u squared. We can then factor 1 minus u squared as 1 plus u, 1 minus u, and then we can try to set up partial fractions. Then we're going to multiply both sides by 1 plus u, 1 minus u, and plug in u equals 1, plug in u equals -1, and that allows you to get your a and b values, which we then get to pop in here. And now we're left with a much nicer integral. Take that 1/2, factor it out. The integral of 1 over 1 plus u, well, that's just ln absolute value 1 plus u. When we're doing the integral of 1 over 1 minus u, that's just a little bit trickier. It's almost the same thing, but because there's a negative in front of my u, turns out that if I was doing a substitution, a u substitution, in this case you would use like a v substitution or just a new letter, but if you were doing a u substitution technique, then you would notice that the derivative of this is -1, and when the derivative is -1, you'd want to take this and divide it by -1, which is the same thing as just putting the negative out front. So we're kind of done here because now I just want to substitute in my u's with sine. Gotta remember, that's what it was all equal to before. That could actually be a correct answer, but it's not going to look like the answer that you're going to see if you look at a formula sheet or textbook. To get started with that, we want to take the ln of a minus the ln of b and change it using the rule ln of a over b. That'll get us this. Next, we want to multiply top and bottom here by 1 plus sine. What that will do is it will get us 1 minus sine squared on the bottom, and up top 1 plus sine times 1 plus sine is 1 plus sine squared. Now at that point you would then be able to change the 1 minus sine squared into cosine squared, and that's good because one of our other log rules says if there's a number out front, it can instead get crossed out here and put as an exponent instead. And now that 1/2, you got to remember, that's actually the same thing as a square root. So if instead of putting 1/2, I just put square root, I now take the square root of the top and the square root of the bottom. And what does that get me? Well, it just gets me 1 plus sine and cosine, but then, all right, last step here, 1 over cosine, that is secant. And sine over cosine, that is tan. Now it's looking like that thing where you didn't know, why are we multiplying by secant plus tan over secant plus tan? This could have been our answer, but this one looks a little bit nicer. Hope you enjoyed that.